in search of sanity. Grateful rising. Older black woman, just say no. I hear so many times. I see so many times on the internet, on podcasts. I hear it in the streets. Older black women who get so upset because a young person, and it's usually a young male, but sometimes young females, but they get so upset when a young person address them in what I consider an endearing family term. The young person called them auntie, grandma, mom, endearing family names. The youth may say, hey grandma, or how you doing auntie? Those type of greetings. I get addressed as auntie and ma or grandma all the time. I have one young brother who says, hey, great grandma. I don't mind at all. It doesn't bother me. But listen, older black woman, if you don't want the young person to address you in these endearing family terms, just tell the young person not to address you in that manner. And I'm sure the young person won't. I'm sure the young person will respect your wishes. I'm sure that the young person will probably respect your wishes, and they probably won't call you these endearing family terms anymore. But this thing about getting so upset, and like I said, I've seen it on the internet, I've seen it in person, I've heard it on podcasts and everything. There's no need to get upset. Some of you are more upset about the young person calling you endearing family names than you are about the crime rates and the injustices in the community. But older black woman, instead of getting upset, if you don't want the young person to call you that name, I suggest you ask the young person not to address you in that manner. And a lot of time, if it's in person, the times I've seen it, sometimes the older black woman would just go in on the youth. I ain't your auntie. Don't call me ma, ain't your mama. And I've seen them say some things even worse than that. Now, I don't know who you think you're talking to. You're not going to disrespect me. That's not being disrespectful. They're trying to be respectful. The older black woman say all kinds of things it's off the wall things to the young person. Older black woman, just simply ask the young person not to address you in those endearing family terms anymore. And I can almost guarantee you the young person won't address you in that manner anymore. I don't have an issue with it, but then that's just me. Some people do have an issue. I don't mind the young black youth addressing me with the terms of respect for endearment, because when I approach them in a respectful manner. I approach them in a manner that shows that I'm concerned and respect them as an older black woman. I mean me, the older black woman, not the young, they're the youth. So they in turn, out of respect for me, call me auntie, or they call me grandma. Sometimes I don't even have to approach them. They approach me when they're passing me down the street. You walking by, you pass somebody, hey grandma, hey auntie. This one black youth, every time he sees me, he says, hey grandma. He says it like he's kind of shy to say it. His little face shows that he's respectful. He sees me, an older black female, as a grandma figure, so he addresses me as such. One reason I think, based on my observation, that the older black woman doesn't want to be called by these endearing female names and get so upset, one reason I think is because a lot of older women are trying to pretend they're not old. I'm an older woman. I'm a senior citizen. I'm what they would call in the country way younger grown. So many times I see older black women not wanting to be called ma'am, or have a child say yes ma'am and no ma'am. I see it now. I saw it when I was raising my children. You had older black women who were old enough to be my mom, sometimes even my grandmother. These older black women would get upset if my children say yes ma'am and no ma'am to them. They wanted the child to call them by their first name. No miss, no ms, no mrs. Some of these older black women, according to what my children would tell me, will go behind my back and tell my children they don't have to say yes ma'am and no ma'am to them. But I guarantee you these would be the same people who will say my children or other children were disrespectful children. Older black woman, stop that. Just stop that. If you don't want the black youth, or anybody for that matter, to address you in a certain manner, just tell that person not to address you in that manner, and I can almost guarantee you that person won't do it anymore. You know why? Because so many times the black youth have more respect for us and themselves than we have respect for ourselves. So if you want to get respect, you got to give respect. But that's a whole nother podcast. Subscribe, comment, like, and share. Support our youth in any way you can. Keep on churning till the butter comes. Albert C. Richardson, a black man, patent the butter churn U.S. patent number 446470, February 17th, 1891. I'm LilyBell. I'm just trying to create a dialogue. I leave you with this. If they close my book, you remember my story. Older black woman, you denied the youth a chance to respect you. Why did you do it? A Nat Turner Runner production. Lock and load. LilyBell. Be encouraged.